Boss, the players are pretty upset with the leak that we just gave them for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains set. They're saying they're really mad that they're not going to get an actual Vrains pack. What do we do? Should we rebrand or what? What do we do? What do we do? What we do is, you shut up, get back to your freaking desk, don't question my authority, and let the players figure it out for themselves. No matter what we do, they're gonna buy our product anyway because they are crazy, retarded, dumb teenagers and man-childs. And man-childs with children who also buy our product. So don't worry about what the players are gonna do. Worry about yourself, get back to your desk, do the fake leaks like I told you to, and get back to work or you're fired. Okay, boss, please. Okay, I'm on it. I'm sorry. What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fact that Konami might not be giving us the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains pack that was recently released in the OCG. So let's get into it. Start off by saying a lot of players on YugiTube, Zodiac Duelist, all over my Facebook timeline is either for or against Konami leaking this heavy metal foes guy from the most recent Vrains pack that was released in the OCG. They're pretty much leaked it into the Extreme Forces, which is their next set, coming out on their official Konami page. And players are outraged, and a lot of the arguments are Konami is a company just trying to make money. And I'm just like, well, duh, that's what companies do. They want to make money, right? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of them doing what they're doing, which is potentially canceling out the Vrains pack in general in order to promote Burning Abyss, Link Monster, and the Metal Foes, Link Monster, etc., etc. So let's get into it. Without further ado, let's begin. Start by saying some of the bad stuff I'm going to lead into. It's bad for the TCG. Now, this I kind of agree with, simply due to the fact that, let's face it, if I was wanting to build the Metal Foes deck, I'd be highly upset unless the card is a common, because of Konami rarity bumps the card like they always typically do. Picture being on screen, of course. I mean, the card looked like it's a secret rare, but we've seen an instance where Konami leaked cards on their website and the card that looked secret rare and it wound up being a rare or common. Either way, if Konami makes it a low rarity, I'll be happy, but if Konami makes it a high rarity, I'll be pretty upset if I want to play that card, due to the fact that I have to spend money into the set in order to pull a card and buy boxes and etc. But when you think about it, most smart players don't do that anyway. They just wait till the set drops and buy the single. The only downside is if it's a secret rare, the card will be pretty expensive, especially if it's a high sought after card. It can easily go for probably 40 bucks on pre-release. And if it's a good card that breaks the meta, it's gonna easily go for 80 bucks to 100 bucks and etc. So it's definitely one of those things that's a here or there, hit or miss for the TCG. And I definitely could agree with everyone being angry, because it's one of those things that just leaves a bad taste in their mouth, because not only would it make us spend more money to get the stuff, it could potentially take us forever to get the cards from the Vrains pack. So let's say, for example, Konami wants to just give us one Link Vrains monster for a extra card as an import coming into their sets. That could take forever, and we'll never get archetypes like we never got the Konami list stuff from back in the day. We never got the for Patchwork. There's a lot of stuff we still haven't received from Konami yet, that by the time we get it, it becomes irrelevant. And that's a huge problem. That's one of the bigger arguments that a lot of players are having. So it's taking forever to get specific cards. It definitely angers people. But on the flip side, what if Konami just says, okay, every set from Extreme Forces up until Summer Ridge is going to give you guys 10 imports from the Vrains pack. It could be really good. So like, it's one of those things, so I was like, I see where both sides are coming from. I'm just looking at it as, I hope they make the best decision, but knowing Konami, they probably won't. Now, like I said, it's left a bad taste in people's mouth because they just did the same crap with the Pendulum Evolution structure deck. Now that was BS. That was complete BS, because For the Pendulum Evolution Structure deck, that was a deck that you were supposed to literally buy 3 structure decks to make, and you had to buy a set that, now for better or for worse, you could drop 60 to make pretty much get almost everything you need regardless, but you still had to buy boxes to pull set. Some people even order cases or half of cases. Yeah, they're crazy, but they still did it. So this definitely leaves a bad taste in people's mouth because of how Konami just obviously, instead of making things easy for us like they do the OCG, so they pamper the OCG and make the TCG invest more into the game than what we should have, even though there's technically more TCG players than the OCG and we technically make them more money. They cater more to their OCG crowd because it's a Japanese card game, which in my opinion is complete BS, because if it wasn't for the popularity in America, Yu-Gi-Oh! wouldn't be a thing or as big as it is now. It's probably small as something like Card Fight Bodyguard or whatever games are now. But that's neither here or there. It's a whole nother topic for another video. Yeah, man, a lot of players has been raging, but the plus side is, you know, back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger, growing up, and wanted to see stuff from the OCG to the TCG, this just lets me know, okay, at least they're giving us some of the stuff a little bit faster. Like, I want to say when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! 5 years ago, and the OCG got something at least like in a promotional set, we might not get that promotional set for years, if not months. It seems like Konami, whenever they release a promotional item now, they're giving us at least a month or 2 in advance, way faster than they did in the past. So that's definitely is a plus side. And honestly, it leads me into thinking maybe Konami is definitely trying to close that gap between the TCG and the OCG within the next year of 2018. And here's why. Think about it. It's 2018. I've been saying this for the longest. A lot of YouTubers have been talking about this forever. Why in 2018 do the TCG and OCG have separate ban lists? It makes no sense to me. And honestly speaking, it's because OCG get their stuff first, TCG get their stuff second. I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be an international card game where everything is worldwide. Because when it comes down to the World Championships, they have to waste of time in combining our ban lists, which ultimately gives the Japanese players or Asian players a huge advantage because they've been playing with certain cards longer and they know how to interact with certain archetypes and matchups and etc. It just gives them a huge advantage overall. TCG players all agree. And then there's even been instances where people believe when it comes down to rulings, they've been favoring OCG players on some conspiracy theory type stuff. So, you know, maybe they're just trying to close the gap between the TCG and the OCG with the next year because they are trying to promote Yu-Gi-Oh! As an esport. That's something to think about as well. Which, honestly, if they do want to go to esport route, they would definitely have to add money. But outside of the money factor, you guys know you can't have something called an esport and it be 2 separate entities and then combine them together for one big event of the year. That just makes no sense. It's too sloppy, it looks unprofessional, and it's dumb in my personal opinion. So, as a closing statement to this video, the linked Vrains pack stuff getting leaked from Extreme Forces is very angrily through our community. It's definitely a big split on is it good or is it bad for the TCG. I mean, ultimately, with the power level of the linked Vrains cards, especially with the power level of the Metaphors card, which effect pretty much reads, if this card is linked summon, you can add 1 pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck. Face up, once per turn, you can target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and add 1 face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. If this card is in your pendulum zone, leave the field, draw 1 card. You can only use the effect of Heavy Metaphors, each Trunum once per turn, and it gives you 2 link spots to play with an 1800 attack. With card effects like that coming from the linked Vrains pack, common sense says, based on Konami's record, that they're going to rarely bump that up to the secret rare and put it in a new set and make players have to crack open boxes and packs, and especially if they short print it to make them more profit, because players are going to want to get these cards and play at high level events. And that gets into the whole argument of the TCG players are getting sick and tired of how expensive modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, especially when we look over to the OCG where they can build a competitive deck for like $100, and to build the same exact deck in the TCG, it's like $600 to $700. So yeah, man, it's just kind of a crazy thing to think about when you compare TCG and the OCG, and you cannot blame the TCG players for being angry. Right now, my final stance on it, I gotta say I'm with TCG players on this is BS. And I feel like if we just had a linked Vrains pack come to the US in the form of a 10 or whatever Konami want to repackage it or rebrand it as, it'd be a lot better for the players. It'll save grace with us in the company, and it'll let the players know that that's not all about profit. So with all that being said, guys, what do you think about this? Post your thoughts and opinions about this video in the comment section down below. As I always tell you guys, if you're new here to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm uploading a video every single day. Let's try to make today's video get 300 likes. It definitely helped the channel a lot if you guys smash that like button. 300 like minimum. It's a goal for today. Innovation YGO signing out. Smash that like button. Peace.